Thank you, SynkedUP team. Just a lot of good content here today, and I'm humbled to be up here. A little nervous, maybe a lot nervous. I really like to be in the field, and somehow I happen to be a partner in a business and have to also help lead that business, right? Our company is SHS Distributors. Our slogan here is quality, innovation, and service. We love bringing quality, we love innovating, and we love bringing service. So thank you, Fred, for that opening comment about our service. It's not always perfect, but we try. We're a family-owned company. We have 2 locations. One is in Connecticut and the other in Eastern Pennsylvania, where I grew up. I now live in Connecticut. But our mission as a company is to honor God by positively impacting every life we touch. We reflect eternal values by doing business with integrity and mutual respect. We strengthen and develop our employees' gifts and talents, or we try, and we try to deliver outstanding value and exceptional service. What do? We bring sustainable outdoor living dreams to life through design, services, and products. So we sell products. I am a former contractor who also had my hands in the dirt and built them. So that's still what I love to do. I love to go out on jobs, love to interact, love to problem solve. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of products that I think are some of the most innovative products in our industry right now. Our industry is kind of cool. It really is a cool industry to be in, where you can start with a wheelbarrow and shovel, and you can grow and get better, a little better every year, just like that graph about improving 1%. And you can grow to build these amazing multi-million, maybe for some of you guys, outdoor living spaces. And it's not just about the scale and the size of your property or your build, but it's about that relationship and meeting with that customer and building something that they can love, and you build that trust. Anyway, but I'm going to talk today about innovative systems for outdoor living spaces. But first, I want to talk a little bit about innovation. What is innovation anyway? I mean, innovative, if you're going to be innovative, that reminds me of something new. And it reminds me of God. I think innovation is a God thing. Because in Lamentations, it says, His mercies are new every morning. Innovation. How many of you can relate with this? Can you read that? Somebody was innovative and made a wheel one day, right? But sometimes, depending what we're doing, we are a little bit like that guy in the front. Nah, I'm too busy. I don't want to stop. I don't want to learn. Okay, we don't say that, but sometimes we act like that. No thanks. And so, on our way down here, we're here 5 strong, by the way. There's marketing director Chris is with us, my sales guy from Pennsylvania, Bert, sales team leader Willie from Connecticut, and Marek. He came on board last year, or was it about 15 months ago? And we were having a good discussion. And one of those discussions was about, time. We need time for everything. And Mark, he's a great guy. Meet up with him. He's getting into the sales part of our kitchen system, which we'll talk to you more about. But anyway, we're having a really good discussion. And I got my phone out and I was looking for quotes, and I found this one, and I thought it really fits. It's not the employer who pays the wages. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. And that I didn't come up with that. That was good old Henry Ford. But that's true, isn't it? And as a team, we are all really building for our customer, whatever we're doing. So, when you think about innovation, is your company at a place that you can engage a customer that is a Pinterest-loving, they love to surf Pinterest. Can they come to you with pictures like this and say, hey, can you build this for me? What are you going to do? Maybe you're at a place where you need to say no because you're dialed into a certain way and you're making good money and it's working for you. That's fine. But what if you're in a situation where you want to take it to the next level and you have systems in place, you know where your money is going, SynkedUP can help you with that, but maybe you don't quite have the skill on your team to build what that customer wants. What are you going to do? This is a project that a customer built. I didn't build it. One of my friends built it, but we were involved because they used some of our products. Now this particular customer, I believe they were building something kind of as a memorial, and they wanted something really special, really unique, and so they have all of these little stones that they had to build and keep in place. And by the way, how much do you think that cost? I don't know what that cost. I should have asked the gentleman that built it. But building something like that with that unique look and making sure that it's built to last a long time, what are you going to do? Are you going to take pavers and polymeric sand and things like that? Will it last? That's a little closer shot of the stone that they built with. Took them quite a long time, but it is a beautiful, beautiful picture or project. What about this? What if your customer wants something that is you can pressure wash? Can you pressure wash most of the projects you're putting in today? Your paver projects? What if they want something that you don't know how to build? What are you going to do? This is something you can do. Just say, I don't know. Or you can learn, you can innovate, and you can continue learning. You can take that mindset that we were hearing about this morning, and you can help your team innovate as well. If you don't get stuck in that rut and say, no, I'm too busy, I can't learn today. So that's what I'd love to go. Now I'd love to go into some products that we have, not because there's not other good products out there. We're here to sell. We're here to support. But I'm going to start with joint material because I feel like as a former contractor, joint material was one of my biggest frustrations. And almost 10 years ago, when we were looking for something new and we were also getting into the sales side of things, selling products, I was on a hunt for new materials. And since then, we've really innovated a lot in our industry. We went places. So today you can use Easy Joint, you can use that HP TechnoSeal, Extreme Easy, the one we sell. 2-part, the 815, you can use Mason sand if you're mortaring something down. 2-part epoxies, they're in that box. Or you can use nothing. You know, our industry, they started with pavers and putting sand in the joints, a flexible system, right? And then our customers got tired of the sand coming out and the ants digging out the sand, so then polymeric sand was invented. It was an innovation, and a good innovation. But then beyond that, they were like, some people were tired of that. You can't really pressure wash it. It's hard to maintain. So the 1-part resins came out. They were designed in Germany and the UK. And thankfully, we now have them in our arsenal. But now there's also 2-part epoxies. And if you want to know more about those, I'll talk a little bit about them. But they're more technical. They don't work quite like polymeric sand. So that's where we have to keep our innovation alive, and we have to learn how to do it. Two-component resin-bound aggregates. They're available now. They used to be just something in a picture, or maybe something that the Germans had. Now we can build driveways, highly permeable driveways with 2-component aggregates like that. That one's in upstate New York. Most of these pictures, I'm just going to slide through them. They're different jobs that I had the opportunity to be on. Another driveway there on the left, 2-component bound gravel. What about if somebody wants a cobblestone driveway? Do you know how to build it? That's a porcelain job. Is porcelain, if you're getting into porcelain, will you just lay porcelain just like pavers? Maybe not, maybe you've never laid porcelain, but no, you don't unless you want it to fail. Now the porcelain won't fail, but the joint will if it's not laid right. So I just want to stir your minds about innovation and how how can you take these new and innovative products that are out there that are available to us now and incorporate them into what you're doing and offer the customer something new, something exciting, and still make money doing it. Where's Weston? Does that walkway look familiar, Weston? And see if he's in the room or not. That is at his house. He stepped out. Okay. So one of the things that I really stress in what I do in the joint world is you got to think about the size of your joint. For a long-lasting project, it's imperative to make the joint expectations part of your consideration before you start building. Before you start building, you got to know what you're going to do at the end of the day. How many of you built a project and it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you have to joint it yet so that you can collect your check and go home? How many of you have done that? And so you're like, we were like, quick, get this done. And you treat joint material like it's a necessary evil at the end of the job. How many of you have done it? I'm afraid, yeah, there's a couple honest people. And you actually didn't think about what for joint material you're going to use just until the day before. I would like to tell you, I would like to say that is not the way we should be doing our projects anymore. We should be thinking about the end result, and I know some of you guys do this, I'm sure you do. But as a former contractor, I used to do this too much. Make that last minute decision the day before. Design your projects and know the size of your joint and what you're going to put in that joint for the customer before you start. Because depending what you use, you have to change how you build. Unless you're just going to stick with pavers and that, kind of standard way. But if you want to get into porcelain, or you want to get into some thin stone or irregular flagging or something like that, and maybe one day you're doing pavers and one day you're doing porcelain, one day you're doing irregular flagging, you need to use different systems for each one of them is my plea. Here's a job. Would you call that a failure? How many of you would call that a failure when you see that on a job? Maybe you don't, your customer would, right? Okay, how are you going to fix it? Go out, blow those old joints out, redo it. Is it going to stay? This job has some of the best two-part epoxy joint material in that I know of, because I was part of this project. I sold them the two-part. The guys didn't want to use the laying system underneath this porcelain, and now the pieces, when it freezes and thaws and they move around and you walk around on it, and these pieces are moving because they're only 3/4 inch thick. They're not 2 3/8 like a paver. Now the dynamics of that whole job are completely different. It's not a complete fail. He's still happy because he can power wash his pool deck. But I go out there a year, 2 years later. I think it's now almost 4 years. Haven't been there this year yet. I think this picture was taken last year, and I'm seeing a little bit of this. And I'm like, this is only 3 years. I'd like to build for 30, 40, 50 years, 60, more than that if I can. Not just 3. 3 years at a $100,000 project? That's crazy. That's what people are, they're spending a lot of money. We have to build something that lasts, if you ask me. Or set the expectation beforehand and tell them what they're getting. So joints. Failed joints is just something that we hate it. I hate it. But in order to do better, in order to make sure that we don't have failed joints, we have to think outside the box and think ahead. Cutting corners on quality systems, and you'll risk jeopardizing all that time and money. Who wants to do this? That happened because of this. It had too much movement. And this paver This is a very well-known paver. It's pure from Techoblock, a very good paver. Great product, nothing wrong with it, except it has a lug that comes up to almost the top. And I get into the details here, and I need to run along, but because we're going to run out of time. But the lug comes almost to the top, and then you fill that with a hard joint, and as soon as that moves just a little bit, it'll break. Now, you could put chipstone in there all day long, and it'll work for many, many years. But that one little change, and now I have to change my system. I have to try to think, what am I going to do? Here's another installation, works great. It's been in our store at Souders Hardscape in New Holland for almost 4 years now. Because of how it was built, it works. Okay, the trash bedding system. By the way, everything that I'm talking about, you can come to our booth. We can get into it more in depth, and we're also going to show you a live demo of trash bed at the Evolve site this afternoon. So we're going to do a little trash with porcelain, and we're also going to show the kitchen system. So I got to run along here. The trash bed has 3 different components. We'll talk about that more this afternoon in a live demo. I can show you faster than I can talk about it. And we'll show a little video here on it. All the normal stuff, you know, make sure your base is right. Put your fabric down. Put your clean stone down. Now, a lot of what we do around our shop is testing things. So this is a project Willie and I just built it last week before, and we decided to throw a quick video together. But it's actually a test bed. We laid 2x3 porcelain, 3/4 inch porcelain on this trash bed, and we're going to run forklifts on it. We did porcelain in the driveway a couple of years ago. It's working great on residential vehicular traffic, but I want to see if I can load it even heavier with a forklift and see if it works. So stay tuned. And one of our guys can come out and train you if you want to get into this and know nothing about it. But as we get into these new products and all, we have to think about the whole system to have a really good outcome. Does it cost more? Yes. More than your normal paver? Yes, it does. Do you want to know your numbers? Yes, you do. Can you build exceptional projects with this kind of system? Yes, you can. And the sky's the limit, really. What are you going to do when that customer calls you and they really want something? They want what they want. And, you know, the jobs aren't coming in like they used to, maybe. And maybe you'd have the team that could do this if you spend time training them. But do it carefully. So in summary, you know, you can design anything you want, but just keep in mind the pros and cons of each system and analyze your challenges before you lay all the stone or pavers. And that's just kind of the summary of that one. Now I want to go into another new product, a new and innovative product, and we have 2 units here that you can look at. We have the one with the Eclipse Entertainment unit, the TV in it, out here in the in the foyer. We have another one out back, and we're going to build a small one at the Evolve shop here this afternoon. So come check us out this afternoon. I'm just going to fly over this, but we are building outdoor kitchens in a complete kind of new way. We're building it with a product that is waterproof and fire resistant, critter and mildew resistant, efficient transportation and installation methods. They'll be flat packed on a pallet. You as the contractor and end user can open that pallet, put it together, and then veneer it with anything you want. So we're not limited to wood or veneer stone. We can do mortar, we can do our decorative mortar, we can do porcelain, we can do stone, you can do wood, you can do whatever you want. And it gives waterproof, clean cabinetry. It's kind of like indoor, but it's outdoor. It is really, really cool. One of the most exciting things, I think, in the outdoor kitchen world. And not just kitchens. We can also build fireplaces and seating walls and things like that.
Assembly is in minutes or hours and not days or weeks. Finished floors, appliance trays, and fully finished functional interiors are just a few client features. We offer features that are found nowhere else in the industry, such as top access leveling feet and trays that direct water away from the interior of the kitchen. Contact us today and get involved in a new way to
cabinet
build.
under the grill.
Outdoor living
There's a lot of kitchen cabinets out there that, or built kitchens that are, it's really hard to do that. So again, almost any finish, because this product does not swell when it gets wet, like plywood, but it's as easy to cut, almost as easy to cut, I should say, as plywood. And it's thin, so we give ourselves a lot of cabinet space inside. It's a really, really cool product to build with. A lot of fun. What about if you want to do something unique? The founder of this system is just built this fireplace, fire pit. What do you call this anyway? His customer wanted something that kind of looks like a boat, because the guy's a big boat guy, likes sailing or something. And so he built this out of this product and then put a decorative mortar finish on the side. So this is really cool. What about a kitchen like that? It's a cantilever. What if your customer wants something unique? I keep running into people that they just want something unique. And maybe not the whole project, but maybe just something, one thing. They want to be different. What about that? We can actually build things like this with this product. We can do seat walls. And now we're working on a seat, an outdoor seat, that this is just in the shop, but it'll actually have a waterproof place to put maybe your pillows or something like that. And yeah, you can finish that with whatever you want or whatever works. We can also do fireplaces on top of decks, because this product is fairly lightweight. And yet, so in this situation, the picture's not very good, but in this situation, the customer wanted a fireplace on the deck, and we didn't have to build this big foundation underneath. We could just put it right on top of the deck. And we could build it around the post that is holding that roof. So, first impressions are important, but the last impression we leave with the customer will leave the most lasting impression. If you get into this, these are great systems, but take the time to learn and learn it well. Then you'll set yourself up for success. And you have to think innovatively, because when your teams are used to running with pavers and then you switch it up on them, you're going to be frustrated if you're not ready for that. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.